Hi, welcome to the Average Feminist podcast. Today I am here with my friend Becky. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Becky. Libby and I met through work, and what should I say about myself? I want to be a writer, so if you ever see my book in a shop, please buy it. Thanks.
Becky Connolly, look out for that name.
In like 10 years' time, when I finally figure out. But yeah. And I study English here at the uni.
Big up Exeter Uni.
Yay!
The reason for our friendship in more ways than one, because that's who was employing us.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, we love that £10.42 an hour.
Oh, those were the good days.
I miss it.
I miss that paycheck. Oh my gosh.
So today's episode, you wanted to talk about female sexuality to start off with.
Yeah.
So anything you want to kick off with?
I think I wanted to talk about it because obviously the whole point in this podcast is as voicing things that may be considered even more taboo or just aren't as openly discussed.
Things that we need to challenge.
And things that like maybe I feel like for guys it easily just rolls off the tongue and it's mentioned, but for women,
we've been taught to feel shame.
Yeah.
To talk about these kind of things. Which is
exactly.
Ridiculous.
It's just even on things like sexuality and all that, but also masturbation. Yeah, so like for me, so for example, I didn't realise that other people did do it until I was 17 because no other girl
oh my god
had ever said to me until I was at sleepover when I was 17 years old. And I literally I literally just didn't realise, and I also went to an all-girls school.
Yes.
And it wasn't really anything that was ever discussed, and I just felt like it was shameful. But obviously with guys it's sort of just lightly referenced, it's like just, cheeky wank and all that.
Exactly.
Like I don't know, I just think it's something that we should challenge and go, no, this is normal and this is it's not taboo.
Yeah, no, for sure. I feel like I was quite unusual in the sense that, I mean, I've always been quite challenging of that stereotype. Like I was saying to someone the other day, the kind of stereotypical female, I suppose, of like, oh, can't talk about periods, can't talk about like sex. I've always been like, I just never saw the point from like start of secondary school. I was like, well, why shouldn't I talk about period? Like, all people with a uterus get one, so why should I not talk about that? It's nonsensical. It's not it's a natural part of our bodies. And then I was also just like, why can't I talk about it? I mean, I've always growing up as well kind of had a lot of male friends, so I think just being around them talking about it, I was like, well, if they can talk about it, why can't I?
Yeah, exactly.
And I know that I've been quite outspoken compared to other people with that thing, where they're all a bit like, oh no, I can't talk about it. Which, like, I mean, if you don't feel comfortable talking about sex, do whatever makes you comfortable. That's completely valid. But you shouldn't feel ashamed of it.
That's the difference. There's a difference between shame and what you're comfortable discussing, and like what your personal boundaries are, I guess.
Exactly.
But it's definitely not anything that one should feel ashamed about or should feel like they can't talk about it.
No, for sure. A thing as well that I think, bouncing off of your point of like, you didn't know it happened until you were 17, or like you didn't know that other people did it until you were 17.
It was like I just didn't realise, I guess people close to me did. Like, it was obviously like I knew it was a thing, but I couldn't have said to you like, oh, so it's just I didn't think it was almost that normal for girls.
I mean, I genuinely bring her up in every episode and it's getting quite embarrassing because one day I think I'd like to have her on, but I think it's just the way, like the amount I talk about her, I don't think it's feasible. But Florence Given, yet again, she's being brought up just because purely, I was watching her Instagram stories the other day and she just kind of referenced, she was like, oh, I was just going through this old highlight of mine. It made me laugh so much. Like, if you haven't gone through my highlights, go and watch this one. And I think it was probably towards the start of lockdown. She just kind of asked her followers stories about like weird things they'd use to masturbate, or like when they, or whatever. And all these people were kind of coming in with like, I was like 4 and 5 and like doing this, didn't even realize what it was, didn't realize that it was anything to do with sex or anything, because obviously they're children. And which again is so normal for guys. It's just known that guys will start,
they'll just do it
at that kind of age, like not necessarily wanking, but like And it kind of came with an outpouring of people being like, I genuinely thought I was the only one, and I've been so ashamed of this my whole life. And it was like, it kind of was that for me as well, because I always thought that it was fairly young that I started, and I still think it kind of was. I don't know if I could put an age on it. And again, I didn't know that it was like tiki sex.
Yeah.
Because I was a kid. But because people don't talk about it, you just don't know that that's a normal thing. That like so many people experience.
Yeah.
And it was that kind of freeing, like, oh, this is something that I felt ashamed of for so long.
It was that sleep when they mentioned it, I was like, thank goodness.
Yeah.
And like, it's a shame, I guess, that it's not normalized, or it's just the fact there is a shame factor on it. I think it's such a shame, because it literally took me years and years and years, and there shouldn't be the shame associated.
There should not be the shame associated. Masturbation is great for so many reasons, not just owning yourself and being. It's a way to start loving yourself and to appreciate your body. Yeah. So like, that's great.
Yeah.
Also, it's some of the best you're ever going to have. Like, better than sex. Buy a vibrator. It's better than sex. I'm calling it.
Yes.
Yeah. Genuinely.
Yes, I stand this.
It's just a way, like, it's got so many health benefits as well. Like, I'm not massively, I can't really remember the science behind it, but I know that there are a bunch of toxins. I'm pretty sure it releases like endorphins and everything. It can help out, like, if you're on your period, 100%. If you're cramping and stuff, it can help out with pain.
It can help. I googled this. So I suffer with back problems, and once after doing it, the pain went away, and I was, what went on? So I googled it, and it literally relieves
so good
pain. I was like, what? All these times I've just been sitting there in agony, and like all these painkillers weren't working.
The amount of times I've done a strategic,
you just had to go to the bed and just get yourself off, and I got it all out. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it does have loads of benefits.
It really does. It's more than just I mean, obviously there's a ton of psychological, self-love kind of benefits as well.
Yes.
But there are also so many.
Just other benefits.
And again, if you don't like it, that's completely fine.
100%.
However, I would say, not that you don't like it, but what you've been trying so far hasn't been working, there are a million things out there you can try. A million different things you might not even know that you're into. Again, buy a vibrator and just try it.
Even just like reading erotica.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
That shit got me off when I was like 14. I was like, hell yeah, let me read all this really edgy stuff.
Literally, but it's like in that episode of Friends where... do you watch Friends?
Yes.
It's an episode of Friends. It's called like Rachel's Dirty Book or something like that, Rachel's Naughty Book. And Joey goes to nap in her bed and he finds a dirty book and he's making fun of her for it throughout the whole episode. But like, fair enough. I'm glad she was having fun. Like, good on you, Rachel.
Well, exactly. I mean, look at 50 Shades of Grey, one of the best-selling books of all time.
Why also, do you think so?
Originally, it's Twilight fan fiction. Did you not know that?
No.
It was originally a Twilight fan fiction.
That is elite.
Listen,
just go and watch.
Oh, my bad, everyone. That was my phone. Yeah, After. Have you heard of After? Massive on Wattpad.
Okay.
Has now been turned into a movie.
Amazing.
And a couple more. I think there's a couple more movies coming. That was a Harry Styles fan fiction.
Oh no, I have. Yeah, no, someone was reading that in tutor group once, and
I made everyone in my school read that.
Yeah, they were like, they started off on Wattpad, and I was like, oh my gosh, should I like get into this Wattpad business? Like,
oh, Wattpad is great.
I don't know. I've read a lot on it, but I was always very scared to put my own stuff on there. So.
I did have a couple fan fictions on there.
Oh my gosh, what kind of fan fictions?
I mean, first off, I was like 13, so
yes,
it was going to be cringe. I think I had a couple of One Direction ones, of course.
Of course.
I also think I did a Captain America one.
Fair enough.
Which I still rate. I still think that was quite good, to be fair.
And
then I did have an original story also.
Nice.
I didn't finish it.
Nice.
But yeah,
so Wattpad is great.
Wattpad is great. I think Wattpad is still thriving.
I believe so.
Download Wattpad for some free. Support small authors.
Yeah.
Why not?
It's
great.
I have found erotica on there before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, I will say now that I'm not 14.
Yeah.
I find it slightly odd that the fan fictions are written about real life people.
Yeah.
Like Edward Bella, Twilight.
Yeah. Fictional characters, it's different, but
when it just feels like.
Yeah, no, I do understand
it's not okay to sexualize someone in a way that.
Oh no, 100%. I meant like fictional.
Yeah, no. I know. I was talking about fictional as well, but like then I thought about after obviously being based on Harry Styles and how horrible he must feel about that.
Yeah, just like people writing it about him. That is. Yeah.
And when you're like 12 or 13, you're like, yeah, I don't think anything of it. But now, for anyone listening, if you want to go onto Wattpad and read some stuff, I'd recommend sticking to the fiction.
Staying 100. You don't want to sexualize celebrities and just people who exist. And I agree.
Not fair on them.
No, it's not. I do agree with that. But yeah.
Because would you like someone that you don't know to
it would be very odd
about you?
Yeah, just googling it and suddenly
describing how they would have sex with you,
like how they orgasmed to no, I'd just be a bit like, oh, okay, right. Well.
And I think as well, I mean, I'm assuming that a lot of people listening to this podcast would kind of be in the same mindset as us because I think we've got quite a like-minded community.
Yeah,
but I would also just say, like, there is a double standard there. If that was Scarlett Johansson that they were writing a fanfic about, I think a lot of people would jump at that and be like, I agree. You can't objectify her, you can't sexualize this woman, which is true. Yes. You also can't sexualize these men.
Yes, 100%. No, 100%. You can't just, because it's a man, but no, it's okay. Like, we'll just write about abs and then what's underneath.
Yeah, I do think I'm going to do a more in-depth episode on that because I've had a lot of conversations about that lately and about the double standard of sexualizing and objectifying men.
Yes.
When we have such an outrage against women, which is valid.
Yes, 100%.
And then we don't do the same with men.
No, I do agree. Fair. No, it's not fair at all. No,
I was watching. Have you seen Work It? It's the new Sabrina Carpenter movie on Netflix. Okay. It's got Liza Koshy in it. And Liza Koshy kind of acts like Liza Koshy is. She's not really playing a character. She's kind of just is like herself in her comedy. But there's this one point where, like, she has this crush on a guy in a mattress store, and they're kind of there so that she can, like, not spy on him because it was his public place, but, like, I guess, like, googly eyes at him. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's. But then again, maybe if it was a guy with a girl, it would be creepy. Maybe I'm playing into the double standard. But there's, like, a scene where she's looking at him and, like, envisioning him with his top off, and he's all, like, oiled and he's all, like, muscular. If that was a guy looking at a woman and it cut to her in like a bikini with her boobs out, and, like, swinging her hair around, it'd be awful.
Everyone would be like, "How dare you be doing it?" And it's true. It's true.
You can't get away with it.
No.
Well, I mean, you can get away with it, but the point is, you shouldn't be able to get away with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it sucks.
But yeah, no, there are definitely double standards in that department, and there should not be.
Definitely.
So, no.
But yeah. I mean, any guys that are listening, if you also want to get a sex toy to help yourself get off, go for it.
Go have fun.
Obviously have no experience having a male
I personally
reproductive system.
Don't have a penis.
Because I just don't have it.
No, me neither.
So I don't know how much they help, but I know that as a girl,
they do.
Having one, it just makes it better.
Makes it a lot better.
Now I don't need a man.
We don't need them men. We just need Ann Summers.
We just need Ann Summers. Oh my god.
If my boyfriend's watching this, I'm so sorry.
I think my nan's listening to this. I love you.
Hi, Livy's nan. Nice to meet you.
But I think this is the thing as well. I think it would be, because part of me is like, oh no, I think like my mum is listening to this for sure. Hi, Mum.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
And it just makes me be like, oh no, my family isn't. But I think if it was a guy, it'd be less different.
This is something I wanted to talk about, because I feel like if you find out that, like, if you were to find like your son or something is about to get, engaged in sex, like, it's easier for them to just be like, oh, good on you, son. Do you know what I mean?
There's such a culture
and then when it's the girl, it's like what, darling?
No.
Like, return to me, keep your virginal state, and girls, go out, as long as you're happy in what you're doing and that you feel safe. Those are my most important things. That's just that you're happy and safe and over the age of consent, and just that you know what you're doing, I guess.
Yeah.
and you're not doing anything you're not comfortable with, that's so important.
Yeah, I always think, first of all, I hate the concept of losing your virginity. You're not losing anything.
Yeah.
You're becoming more you. Yeah. It's a whole new part of life that you get to discover, and it's perfectly natural. It is. And I don't think there should be such, I mean,
it's a societal construct.
I think if you want to be in a relationship when you have your first time, that's totally up to you. That's perfectly fine. Yeah. But if you feel ready and you're quite comfortable to, you know, if it's like a friends with benefits situation. Oh yeah, 100%. Someone, like, I don't think you necessarily have to be in a relationship where you're like, I love you. Oh, I love you. Oh, let's do it. Yeah. I think everyone's situation is different. And again, I think it's
just making sure.
If a guy was going to hook up with someone and just have that be his first time, people would be like, haha, yeah, he got it.
Well done.
Whereas if it's a girl and they're like, oh my God, they weren't even in a relationship.
Yeah, like, no, 100%. Like, just do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like, why should there... It's nobody's business anyway.
It's nobody's business but your own and your partner's.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and that's just, I think, the important, being comfortable, making sure you're doing, you know, what you want to do.
Exactly.
And whether that be boyfriend, friends with benefits, what have you.
Girlfriend.
Whatever. Partner, like, it's irrelevant as long as you're happy with what you're doing.
Exactly. And yeah, don't feel like you're losing your V card. Or you're like you're not, because
you're just engaging in a new experience.
It's just a new part of life, and it's something that, you know, a lot of people will go through.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's great, and the more comfortable you feel in it, and the more you feel like you're not losing anything, you're just moving forward. The more you'll love yourself, and
100%, and you'll just be more confident in what you're doing, and you'll strive in it, you know.
Exactly.
No, I was actually very grateful, because I remember my mum calls me and she asked, like, oh, are you doing it? She was very open about it, because she basically said, oh, are you sleeping with him? And I thought she meant like in a bed, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna make him sleep on the floor, am I? And she was like, that's not what I mean. And I was like, oh my gosh, and I was so scared. I thought she was gonna, you know, I was really expecting all of this, but like she just was like, are you happy and are you being safe? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, okay, cool, have fun.
It was so funny when I told my mum. I think it was like my boyfriend at the time. I was at his house, and like I came home, and I didn't tell my mum when I got home, but I think I was like, I'm gonna tell her. And I have a great relationship with my mum. Yeah, like, we are such good friends. We're so close. And I kind of just like went downstairs, and I think she was like doing something. She was kind of busy, and she was like, oh, can we talk later? So I was like, okay, fine. And I walked out of the room, and I was like, guess I won't tell you that I'm not a virgin anymore. And then she like screamed after me. She was like, come back, tell me everything.
Oh, I love that.
And then she was like, just so you know, it's not going to hurt as much the second time. And I was like, oh, I know. And then she was like, you already did it.
I love that.
Which I thought was great. I like, went up to my mum. I was like, yeah, mum, don't worry, I already know.
I trust, it's fine.
Don't worry, mum.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I am woman. Yeah, no, I think it's great.
Yeah, I think we've been quite lucky.
Yeah, exactly.
And just how okay with it. Yeah, I think my mum was just like, yeah, cool, because she knew that I went on birth control, which we're gonna jump into in just a second. Yeah. Like when I first got into this relationship, because I just felt more comfortable being on it. So she knew that I was on birth control, but I went on it a while before we started having sex, just to be on it. Yeah. So she knew that it was coming at some point. And I mean, it was naturally, it was my first relationship. I was like almost 17. I think everyone kind of expected it. Yeah. Not in a weird way.
No.
Just like it was just probably what was going to happen, and that was fine. So like I think she kind of knew it was coming, and she was okay with that.
Yeah. So I love it's natural.
Mum, I love you. Also,
you sound great.
This is coming out a week before your birthday.
So oh, happy birthday, Mum! Oh, you sound like a legend.
Oh, she is a legend. She's gonna come on the podcast.
Oh my gosh, yes, please.
Yeah.
Oh, exciting. But yeah. No, yeah, so contraception, that is another topic.
It's another big one.
So yeah, and like also I guess the respect that with women, like it's a whole thing. Yeah. This whole thing. I guess like this sort of sparked when I was having problem of mine. I was on the implant, which works so well for some people. Like I know some friends had it put in, no problems at all, and now they're set with it for 3 years. That's brilliant, and if it works for you, excellent. I didn't get quite the same experience. Let's just say.
We love unpredictable.
We love when you get like hospitalized.
In France,
I got hospitalized, but it was the morning before, and I was obviously feeling quite poorly because that's what happens when you get hospitalized. And I saw a comment, and obviously, so there was a bit of a thing where I think it was a male pill, and it was scrapped in, I think it was France actually, because it was giving side effects of like mood swings and headaches. And I thought, oh,
funny symptoms.
Oh my god, that would be horrendous.
Can you imagine?
It's like I've been bleeding for 3 months straight, but it's fine. And then I saw a comment saying, I wish women would stop complaining when it's their choice. And I was just a bit like, but I almost feel like it just made me mad because it's, you know, you want to be safe and everything, but I almost didn't feel like, I don't know how to put this. It's just, it is a difficult thing to put your body through if it's not working for you. So I think just giving the woman, if any guys are listening, like if a woman is struggling with birth control, just like giving her that respect, because it is a lot to put your body through.
It is a lot. I've been really lucky with being on the pill. The only real side effect I've had has been slight like weight gain, which, you know, I wasn't massively comfortable with, but at the same time I knew that there were so many worse symptoms, so I was like, I'm not going to bother changing just for that because it's fine.
100%.
So I've been really lucky, like, you know, I didn't have to bleed for 3 months straight and everything.
Yay. Yeah, and I think the other thing is, so I was obviously speaking with friends, and some of them would be so some of the, obviously when you start out a relationship, you got on your birth control prior. I didn't do this, and some other friends, sometimes if like it's more of an impromptu thing, you end up having sex before you're on anything and then getting on it later when you realize that it's going to become a more active thing in your life. And I guess the thing that really stressed me out is like, obviously when going through this, blah blah blah, and then on the other side of the coin, if you're doing it and a woman isn't on birth control, and then suddenly a guy refuses to wear a condom because it isn't comfortable.
Yeah, I think this is the thing. I think obviously it was our choice to go on birth control.
Yes,
it was completely
100%.
But I think in terms of like men, they shouldn't expect you to go on birth control 100%, but they should know that if you're not, they have to be responsible wearing a condom.
Yes, 100%.
It's a two-way street.
Yes.
You can't expect one thing and not another. You can't, you know, like, fair enough if men don't want to play with their hormones and they don't want to take
100%,
fair enough, like we
in
choose
same
to
way,
yeah, sure,
in the same
but
way,
also
respect,
we have to deal with the consequences of pregnancy more, so I guess that's more what
or like pregnancy, or if
like if we didn't take birth control or anything, like the consequences of pregnancy, whether it's having the baby or getting rid of it, both are obviously very like,
it's a big
physically traumatic things, and can be psychologically traumatic too, especially if you're not expecting, you know, if you're not planning on getting pregnant. So I think it's just that you need to be just as willing to take precautionary methods. You might not be forcing a woman to go on birth control, but you need to take responsibility and be okay.
Yes, 100%.
Respect boundaries.
Yes.
But I do think there's a little bit of another double standard there, where they were, because I think they've done it for years, scrapping like male contraceptive pills because they just have the same side effects as the ones that women have. Like, we have an increased risk of cancer. It's cancer
for my pill. The biggest ones are cancer, blood clots are a massive one. If you get headaches, like migraines can be quite bad if like but once again, like a lot of them, the thing is you do have to just dip your toe in and try, and like obviously check with your doctor and see like your own medical history, and you know, you might go on one, and as you said, weight gain. With mine so far, I think just because I have had a bit of hormone, like I've struggled a bit with mood swings, but this is going to sound a bit odd, but ever since I've realized that they were mood swings, I'm managing it better, because
that makes
I'm
sense.
identifying what it is, and I'm like, that's okay, like this is fine, and that almost makes me deal with it a lot better than before. I was just like, why am I angry?
I think I've just always been an emotional person, so it just did not change when I went on the pill. I was like, I've just always been this sad.
I'm just gonna carry on crying like I did.
Exactly. I was just like, this is just normal, to be honest. This is not anything that's weird.
Yeah. But I think also being able to openly talk with like people you're close to about I also another thing on this topic is I've seen in like YouTube comments stuff and going like, how do I talk to my mum about my first period and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's like talking to your parents about periods and contraceptions and stuff like that. There should be no shame because, as we were saying, it's natural. Like there should be no shame at all regarding it. You know, your first period, it's a period. There should be no taboo.
I've got the funniest story of my
gosh, what happened?
What happened? Like, I didn't know it was my period, which also I've heard other people say since, like the same kind of thing, and I felt so validated when they said that as well. Kind of like when we talked about like discovering other people had the same kind of masturbation habits and everything. It was like I was in year 6, so I was still in primary school. And I just remember like a couple times getting changed, whatever I was getting changed for like my ballet class and everything. And my pants were just like soaked and they were like dark. It didn't look red because obviously period blood is a different color, which you don't really know unless you've had a period. And so I just kept looking at it being like, have I like pooed myself? And I was like, I don't understand how this is happening. And I don't know it's happening. And then eventually after a few days, my mum kind of came up to me and was like, you know, those period products we put in your bathroom for you, you might want to start using them. And I was like, this is a period? Oh my God, I feel so much better about myself. I genuinely thought that I was just constantly going to the toilet and not realizing. And that I was just...
Oh no, that must have been so scary for you.
Genuinely, because I was going to like ballet class and stuff, so I was like in my leotard and I was like, oh my God, it's going to get everywhere. Like,
oh no.
Also, that's another thing. I like going to ballet class and everything, I guess because a lot of girls, you know, the range of when you start your period is such a long time. It can literally be 10 years between
one girl and the next.
Yeah, so I'd go to, and like we had an exam or like a grading or whatever in ballet, and they were like, you can't wear pants because it will show around your leotard. Because I guess we were too young to be really wearing like thongs or anything, so we were just wearing kind of like whatever kind of pants you wear in lower secondary school, late primary school. And I was like, I wasn't on my period, but I was like, what if I was on my period?
Yeah, you...
Like, I've never really vibed with tampons.
No.
Probably need to give them another shot, but they've never really been my thing.
They freak me out a little bit.
Especially not when I was like 12.
No, I tried them when I was like 14, 15.
Yeah, I didn't try them for a long time. So I genuinely I remember feeling really uncomfortable. And I was like, I don't want to take my underwear off.
No.
Like, I know I'm not due on my period, but what would happen if I was on my period? Would I just have to miss this grading and wait for the next one?
Yeah, no, that's not... What?
So, let's change the standards in the dance industry.
Yes, please. No, definitely. But yeah, it should be a thing that you should be able to talk about openly and naturally. Because once again, your parents, weird thing, but they would have gone through literally the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, a generation ago. So
I remember speaking to my mum about periods quite young, I think, because one of my friends had clearly heard about it from someone, and she'd kind of posed she'd kind of said it to me as if like, she was like, oh, you can't have children unless you get your period. And so I kind of spoke to my mum and I was like, what if I never get my period? Because she kind of said it not as if like everyone with a uterus will get a period.
It's like
she kind of said like, get a period. Oh, only if you get a period though.
Yeah.
So I was like, Mum, what if I don't get a period? Can I not have kids? And then she was like, no, you'll get a period. Don't worry.
It's coming.
So I was quite young, but it was nice to like know what it was and know that it was also very terrifying. I'm pretty sure I cried because I was like, no, it sounds so traumatic.
Like my little cousin at the moment, she's 12 and, you know, we can go out, Jasmine, like, you know, like at some point we're going to have to go out, buy you pads and stuff. It's going to happen. She's like, no, I don't want it. Oh, bless her. No, it's all coming away, hon. But
yeah, I think we need to wrap up now. So thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Nice. You're definitely going to be a regular guest. Yay! Don't worry about it. Thank you for listening, everybody. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Google, we are on Google Podcasts now, but I've not really been able to find it by searching, only with the link. So if you'd like to listen on Google Podcasts, hit me up and I'll send you a link. But if you are listening, I'd love if you could leave a review, preferably 5 stars, because that's always good for us.
Yes, please.
Follow us on Instagram at @theaverageFemPod. I've had so many nice people DMing me, like people I don't know, being like, I found the podcast, I love it, and it's so nice to hear. So follow the Instagram, message me, let's start a conversation. If you have any questions, you can email us at theaveragefeministpodcast@gmail.com. I think I put at the start. Obviously, that's not what happened. But either way,
we're too used to social media.
I will be back next week with someone else. Don't know who yet. Have a nice week. Get a vibrator. Have fun.